jump into this conversation with me. I think that is huge. Lance and I went to school at Morehouse just a few years ago, a handful of years ago, and he's now Dr. Lance Shipman Young, and has done quite a few things at Morehouse, has been quite a leader in the community, but also as I watch him from afar, I see what he's doing to promote men's health, black men's health, his own health, and a lot of things that he's doing at the collegiate level really touched me. And what I didn't know until I reached out to him was that my son had been fighting to get in his class, his health class, and I had no idea. And when I told him that we were going to have a conversation, he was like, "Oh, I'm in Dr. Young's class," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Wow, that's really cool." So this is a fun moment for me, and maybe Lance gets to give us Dr. Lance Shipman Young, give us just a little bit about your background in general before we dive into this conversation.
Sure, but only if you call me Lance.
Lance.
All right.
Lance is.
All right. So for those of you who have joined again, thanks for taking out the time. I am Lance Young. My bachelor name is Shipman. So when we were students at Morehouse together, my surname was different. I did take my wife's last name. That's a story for, I think, another time. But I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. Went to Morehouse in 1991, graduated in 1995 with a degree in chemistry. Did PhD study at Texas A&M, furthering my interest in chemistry. Did a postdoc at Emory School of Medicine before returning to Morehouse in 2003. So I've been a full-time faculty member at Morehouse for more than 20 years now. And of late, I've kind of had a career pivot, moving into the public health space more so than chemistry. So this has really allowed me to kind of spread my wings a little bit and have more touch points in the community as we talk about things that I think are important for not just Black men, not just men of color, but for men across the board. There are lots of topics that I think we need to address openly and honestly, and I'm not sure that we have productive conversations. When I say productive, I mean those types of conversations that will allow us to live lives that are healthy, happy, and long. So that's really where my interest is right now, and doing research projects around that, trying to understand some of the things that actually impact the decisions that we make when it comes to our health.
All right. Well, let's dive right in. I guess one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was just how did you find yourself studying chemistry and ultimately becoming so passionate about men's health in general?
Yeah, so those I think are two different stories that actually just converged serendipitously. So as a kid, I always was just fascinated with the physical world around me, right? So I would see magicians, and of course, in my mind, there's always a logical reason for everything that happens, right? So when I would see magic play out, I just always wanted to know what was really happening. And when I thought about chemistry, like if you throw two things together and they explode or they change colors, I just always wanted to understand the why. But not just to understand it, but to be able to have a hand in making new things happen, developing new chemistries or just new understandings of the world. So from a very young age, I just kind of dove in headfirst when it came to science. And then, I went to Morehouse thinking that I was going to become, some guru in the pharmaceutical industry. I was really interested in drug design at that point. But Morehouse actually changed my life in a lot of ways. But it definitely exposed me to different disciplines and different things that I could actually do in order to make a difference in the world. So that's, across the globe, right? Making a big impact on humanity, but more specifically, making a dent in terms of improving the quality of lives within the Black community.
Okay.